That's It for the Other One, also known as The Other One by Bob Weir. Bob Weir was the rhythm guitarist for the Grateful Dead. He started playing for the Dead when he was 17 years old. Bob wrote for the Grateful Dead and talks about a breakthrough in his writing career in the documentary titled The Other One. You can find this on Netflix, and I highly recommend it. This documentary is titled not only after the first song he ever wrote, but as a double entendre to the fact that Bob Weir is music's most famous number two in relation to Jerry Garcia. Bob Weir wrote the song The Other One on February 4th, 1968, a date that Bob Weir and many others remember for several different reasons. Neal Cassady was a poet and author during the Beat generation of literature. He was a celebrated artist and human of the 1960s psychedelic movement. He was a part of the Merry Pranksters, a group of quote-unquote hippies brought together by Ken Kesey. Neal Cassady was the driver of this painted bus that transported the pranksters from California to New York as they rediscovered America and experimented with psychedelic drugs. Weir references Neal Cassady in the second verse of The Other One. Escaping through the lily fields, I came across an empty space. It trembled and exploded, left a bus stop in its place. The bus came by, and I got on. That's when it all began. There was Cowboy Neal at the wheel of the bus to Never Ever Land. This song has said to immortalize Neal Cassady and what the further bus meant to many people. While the lyrics seem to translate an experience of tripping on LSD, and many people argue it's what the entire song is about, what it means personally to Bob Weir is what immortalizes Neal in the lyrics of this song. In The Other One documentary, Weir remembers the moment he wrote the song and the moment that he found out that Neal Cassady was dead. And he talks about it in the documentary like this. At that moment, Neal was free of time, of space and time. He was with me that night. This quote is what made me choose this song for the presentation. Bob Weir shares a very spiritual moment for him, and knowing this makes listening to it even more influential. Bob remembers an amazing part of the psychedelic movement and his own relationship to it. He writes about essentially what began his career as well as what began his way of life thanks to Neal Cassady.